Hi everybody, it's Alex. Welcome to Somewhere in October. We talk movies, we watch movies, and I watched The Thing. There's a full first watch on the channel. This isn't going to be a traditional review because you saw my process. I'm going to talk about a few things that I liked about the movie. After my quick review, we'll talk about some alternate endings and who is the Thing. Spoilers ahead, this is your sign. So the four scenarios we'll go over later is Childs and Mac are both a thing, neither Child and Mac are the thing, Childs is the thing, or Mac is the thing. We'll go over them. So I wanted to make 3 big points. 1, this movie was awesome. This movie was amazing. The way it went from subtle paranoia. You're in this isolated environment with a few characters and they're all paranoid. Dread, that's another word that came up in my comments that reminded me of how I felt. But in those moments, things were quiet. And then it went from 0 to 100 because when the Thing was involved, when the Thing was out, it went batshit crazy and I loved every second of it. And that brings me into my second and third compliment I want to give to this movie. Second is, all the characters I was really invested in. They didn't need to do a lot of work for me to understand who everybody was and to actually care about mostly everybody. I was very invested in everybody's story, and if I wasn't invested, it's because I was suspicious of them from the jump. And the third is, everyone talks about the blood sample scene, okay? Yes. Is it iconic? Yes. Does it go from 0 to 100? Yes. The defibrillator scene is one of the craziest scenes I have ever watched. I don't know what movie is going to make me make the faces like that did. I was shocked. It went from one moment of ha 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 to boom. And it just went on and things kept happening and I was like, oh my god, it was amazing. It was the perfect setup for the blood sample scene because we needed to know that the blood sample test would work. So loved it, loved it. So let's talk about some alternate endings or theories, I guess I should say. I'm not going to go off the video game. I know there's out there and that gives a different ending, whatever. For the sake of this video, I'm not going to discuss that. First, let's talk about Childs and Mac are both a thing, because I think for me, this is the easiest one to rule out. If they were both the thing, I feel like they would know. The Thing tries to duplicate itself and replicate itself, whatever it's doing. It understands who to go after and what is possible to go after. So I don't think two of them would be sitting in this imitation form, being a little bit suspicious of each other. If it was both a thing, I think it would know. You may have a different opinion, and listen, you can leave your opinions in the comments. Be nice, but you can leave your opinions. But for me, that doesn't seem like even a satisfying ending, so that's not one I believe in. The next is that neither are the thing. This is interesting and also a little bit sad because we do know if neither of them are the thing, they're probably not going to survive. It is so freezing cold. I don't think they have any resources left. They have nothing left. But I don't know why something in me says that's not the case. But at the same time, if one of them was the thing, why would they wait to take over? There's no them getting found out. But I do believe Childs has his flamethrower. Am I wrong in thinking that? And then we have that Childs is the thing. So I know a lot of people bring up the breath. What's the character's name? Guys, I'm sorry, I forget. At the beginning, it starts with a B. When he's the thing, you can see his breath. So for me, that doesn't really sell it. Even though, to be fair, the first time I saw that, I did wonder why you couldn't see his breath. And a lot of people also talk about the alcohol and how it could have gasoline in it and the thing wouldn't know any better. That is a little bit suspicious. And I also had an idea because Mac is kind of like giggling when he does that. But for me, something I kind of need to rewatch and pick up on, and let me know if you've picked up on this or if I'm just pulling this out of thin air. I know they're drinking a lot as part of their characters and their isolation, but there is something interesting about how we are always shown them putting drinks in front of people, and like when he goes out to see Blair and he lays the drink in front of him, I'm a little bit suspicious about what alcohol means for the thing. Can the thing drink alcohol? I said that in my first watch. I am curious if there's something more to that that could then tie to the end. Someone in my comments mentioned Childs, one of his buttons is not right, so the clothing will come back and it's not a perfect replica. I didn't notice this myself, so it's not something I can like stand on business for. And then there's the speculation of Childs did run out, but they did tell him to go run after Blair if he saw Blair. But then it makes me wonder if Blair got everybody else, Is he really just running away from Childs? How does Childs lose him? All this blowing up is happening and Childs is that lost. If things are blowing up, which they were for a while, you know, it wasn't just this big boom, like they were blowing stuff up outside and going and working their way in and down. So I do wonder why he was gone so long and how he even made it back. Because that's something they also hit on in the movie, is you would not be able to make it back yourself if you were human.
You think he's changed into one of those things?
Plenty of time. Nothing human could have made it back here in this weather without a guideline.
Let's open it now.
So I do have, honestly, suspicions about Childs. I know everybody tensed up during the blood sample test, but there was just something about when Childs tensed up after he's seen the annihilation of the thing. So I don't know. I'm suspicious of Childs. I can't put my finger on it, but that's how I feel. The theory that Mac is the thing, I get people think he's the perfect imitation. And there is that shirt. The shirt that was hidden, the shirt that was ripped up. I do see that. However, we do know the thing is capable of throwing off, or what's the word? I can't think of the word. It's not vandalizing, but something like trying to throw suspicion, basically. We know they can do this when it serves them because the thing destroyed the blood. So we do know that if it wanted to frame someone, it could, but I'm curious about how far that thought goes. Because destroying the blood is one thing, because maybe it's looking to infect it. It wasn't actually looking to destroy it, maybe. But, you know, actually like ripping up clothes, hiding it, is that really something the thing can do? I'm not too sure. So that makes me a little less suspicious about Mac. The fact that he made it out of that explosion is questionable. I personally don't know how he looks a little bit okay coming out of that. And he was down there with the thing, like we know he was exposed. But again, if either of them are the thing in that last moment, would they really be taking a break? Would they really be relaxing? I don't think they feel that threatened in that moment. I can't be too sure. So now we're going to react to some Reddit speculation and see how I feel. So this Reddit comment is kind of where I was going with the alcohol, was at the end, McGreedy gives his bottle of liquor, which we don't see him drink from, gives it to Childs, and he has this little like giggle. So it makes me wonder if that either proves that he's not the thing or proves that he is the thing. I do think there's significance to the alcohol. It has so much visual touches in the movie. For it not to be significant doesn't make sense to me. So maybe that's confirmation that he's not the thing, and maybe it's confirmation that he is. Like when I think about alcohol, it's also something that could induce burning and flame. So I do wonder if the thing would resist it. That's kind of the theory I have going, you know? That's why I think Childs probably isn't the thing. And then someone makes another point that maybe this is all a callback to the chess game that McGreedy was playing. And when he throws the drink to destroy the game, is that actually some kind of callback to this moment? But I don't really know, because for me, I still don't have any convincing fact that either are the thing. And this Redditor says they're both a thing, because Childs makes the comment about how it's not going to stay hot much longer, but I would argue that is a realization and acceptance and a little bit of brotherhood that they're going to die together. This Reddit comment is really interesting to me. I'd have to rewatch to confirm, but if you have any thoughts on it, let me know. If you watch closely, the scene when everything blows up, only the left side blows up. The shed they stay in at the end isn't on fire during that scene. The last pan across the camp in the closing scene, the shed they are in is on fire. One can assume McGreedy torched Childs in the end, or vice versa. That could be something. That could be something that happened. I don't think it means either of them are the thing. It could just be the paranoia, you know, who can you really trust? Or maybe they lit it on fire because they just need heat. They need heat. They are going to freeze to death, so everything they can burn, they're going to burn. It doesn't matter if one or the other isn't. Trust at this point is completely impossible. That's what makes it an amazingly bleak ending. So much is left unsaid because we know just as much as the characters, which is to say very little. I think that is very, very true. If I had to give my final thoughts on whether I believe either of them are the thing, I always go back and forth. I don't know why, I just had an inkling that Childs was the thing the entire time, But to be fair, I did not know anybody else was the thing when they were the thing. So I don't really think that my word is good for it. I think neither of them are the thing because they were sitting, just being in that moment together, that neither of them are the thing. If it was the thing, I think it would attack. I'm still a little bit curious about the alcohol thing. I don't just think it's symbolism for like brotherhood and like, here, have a drink, we're gonna die. Because it was so prevalent in the movie, I think there's something to it. I would love to know what you think. I just wanted to talk about the endings because I know so many people are passionate about the ending, and I actually like the ambiguity. It's a lot more pleasing that we can all have this discussion, and it makes me want to rewatch the movie 10 times, which, if that was the purpose, done very well.